May 17, 1944. The Burma jungle pulses with danger. A sweltering green abyss where every shadow hides death. Lieutenant Phil Adair, a battle-scarred ace, grips the stick of his Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, its nose emblazoned with a snarling, toothy skull that chills the blood of enemies. His heart thunders in his chest, a mix of steely resolve and gnawing tension, as he leads his flight of Burma Banshees through the haze. Below, flashes of gunfire and explosions tear through the dense canopy, where American-trained Chinese forces wage a desperate battle against the Japanese army. Sweat trickles down Adair's back, his nerves taut as he lines up his attack run, the less seasoned pilots trailing nervously behind him. On the ground, Japanese soldiers shield their eyes from the blazing sun, their faces twisting in dread as the Banshee's screaming skulls dive like vengeful phantoms. Adair's bombs slam into their targets, unleashing a fiery cascade that rocks the earth. The jungle erupts in chaos. Flames, smoke, and the panicked cries of the enemy fill the air. A fleeting surge of triumph courses through Adair, but it's cut short as he pulls up, his P-40 climbing at a sharp 45 degrees. A glint in the sky freezes his blood. Japanese Zeros, 3 flights, over 15 of them, slicing through the clouds like a swarm of lethal hornets. They've got the Banshees bracketed, and they're peeling off with predatory hunger. Adair's voice cracks over the radio, raw with urgency. Bandits! 11 o'clock high. Fear claws at his gut, not for himself but for his wingman O'Connor, Little Okie, a young pilot whose inexperience makes him a prime target. Little Okie, drop your bombs and tanks now, hard right into the clouds. Lose those Zeros. Adair shouts, his voice tight with protective desperation. O'Connor jettisons his bombs, but his belly tank sticks, a cursed anchor. For Zeros lock onto him, their engines snarling as they close in. Adair's heart lurches as O'Connor banks hard, vanishing into a cloud bank with the enemy on his tail, the sight searing into Adair's mind. The remaining Zeros fan out, hunting the other Banshees. Rage and determination surge through Adair. He won't let his men die. He slams the throttle forward, diving into the clouds after O'Connor, his pulse hammering in his ears. Emerging into clear skies, he scans frantically, hope fading as he finds no sign of Little Okie. Instead, Zeros burst into view across a clearing, their sights trained on him. Fear gives way to defiance. Adair charges head-on, a lone warrior against a pack. He lines up the lead Zero, his hands steady despite the adrenaline flooding his veins. Tracers snake out, but the Japanese pilots break left, slipping out of range. Frustration burns in Adair's chest as he dives back into the clouds, his P-40 groaning under the strain. Bursting into open air again, another flight of 4 Zeros greets him. His jaw clenches, not again. He charges, heart pounding, and this time the number 40 doesn't break. Adair waits, every second an eternity, until the enemy is in range. The instant he squeezes the trigger, the Zero disintegrates, its pieces scattering like confetti. A grim satisfaction washes over him, but there's no time to savor it. Another Zero barrels toward him, guns blazing. Adair's stomach knots as tracers zip past, the enemy canopy looming large in his sights. He fires, the Zero fires back, and the world narrows to a deadly dance. The Japanese plane roars overhead, close enough that Adair feels the whomp of its passage, a jolt that rattles his bones. Instinct kicks in. He rolls upside down, catching a glimpse of a glossy green Zero below. A spark of awe flickers, whoa, that's cool, before he snaps back to the fight. Using his altitude, Adair swings behind another Zero, the Hayabusa drifting into his sights. His heart races with focus as he fires a deflection shot. The Zero's wing shatters, its fuselage tumbling toward the rocks below. Elation surges, 2 down, but it's fleeting. Alone and exposed, his P-40 battered and fuel dwindling, Adair's chest tightens with dread. 5 more Zeros appear, hunting him like wolves. Outnumbered, with no altitude advantage, panic threatens to creep in. His hand trembles on the stick as he throws his wounded plane into a desperate southward dash, tracers streaking past his cockpit in deadly arcs. The world blurs, metal, sky, and the relentless chatter of enemy guns. Adair's mind races, every muscle taut as he twists and climbs, dodging the Zero's relentless pursuit. Then, through the chaos, salvation. A thick cloud bank pierced by a jagged rock formation. It's a gamble, but Adair's out of options. Heart in his throat, he dives, skill and luck guiding him past the rock. Emerging on the other side, he's alone in clear skies. The Zero's gone. Relief floods him, but it's tinged with dread. Bamboo 2, come in. O'Connor, do you copy? Silence. A cold numbness grips him as he circles, calling his flight, fearing he's lost them all. I didn't feel too good about myself, he later admits, the weight of leadership heavy on his shoulders. Then, a miracle. A red-nosed P-40 limps across the horizon. Adair's heart leaps. It's O'Connor, alive but barely. Flying closer, Adair's relief turns to horror. O'Connor's plane is a wreck, its belly tank still attached, fuselage riddled with holes, a gaping wound where a 20mm shell tore through the canopy. O'Connor slumps in the cockpit, blood soaking his flight suit. His face pale but defiant as he gestures at his dead instruments. Adair's chest aches with a mix of pride and fear for his friend. They bank north toward Nakajima, 2 survivors in an empty sky. The radio crackles and a weak voice breaks through. Bamboo leader, this is Bamboo 3. Do you read? It's Tom Rogers. Adair's hope reignites. Another survivor, circling above Sadia, too battered to land alone. Knowing the detour will burn precious fuel, Adair doesn't hesitate. Loyalty trumps all. They find Rogers' P-40, its wings and fuselage scarred with bullet holes, its landing gear sagging with flat tires. Adair's resolve hardens. He signals the plan. O'Connor lands first, his airspeed indicator still working, then Rogers, whose flat tires will halt him fast. Adair will guide them in, then land last. As they approach Nakajima, Adair's heart pounds with a mix of dread and determination. He pulls up at the last second, circling above, and relief washes over him as both planes touch down safely. He lands, his P-40 creaking to a stop, and spots Martinez, unscathed, already down. Joy surges, but it's short-lived. Adair sprints to O'Connor's shattered plane, his stomach churning. O'Connor's alive but gravely wounded, his left side torn by the cannon shell that ripped away the canopy. He was pretty badly hurt, Adair later recalls, his voice heavy with sorrow. He survived, but he died years later from those wounds. 4 men flew out, and 4 returned, their planes scarred but their spirits unbroken. Adair's legend grows. Whispers spread of the pilot who rolled upside down to survive, who faced impossible odds and brought his men home. That Adair is some pilot, they say. Watch this film and see how he cheated death in the skies over Burma.